Radio Network. You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
And your
That's
co-host,
us.
Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Hello there, and thank you for joining us. Is this mic on? Is this working? All right, right on. Thank you, gentlemen. They're in the booth. Here at Rant Radio Network at the towers of Rant Radio Network. Thank you for joining us here at Real Estate Rant Radio. I am here with Mr. Alonso Rodriguez, and I have to roll those R's, right?
Roll those R's, Alex. That's right.
I got some serious flack on that one time from Mr. Alonso, man. You scolded me for like about a half hour or something like that.
Yeah. You gotta say it with an accent, Alex.
Let me try that again. Alonso Rodriguez.
There we go.
Did I say that right? Right on. This week we are doing something here at Real Estate Rant Radio. We call it Rant Week.
Rant Week.
And that's because we don't have a guest today. And Alonso and I decided to do something once a month where we wouldn't have a guest and we would rant amongst ourselves. Hopefully we'll get some phone calls. You can call in at 855-693-4897. Also, you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. Now, we won't get the emails during the show, but we will read them and possibly put them on the show for the following week.
Make sure to call. We're here anxious at the towers waiting for your calls.
Now, when you mentioned the towers, we're kind of looking behind us here. Where are we at exactly, Alonso? You mentioned...
Well, I actually I got a good friend of mine who always has that iconic U.S. Bank Tower building. A shout-out goes to my friend Stephen Reynoso from Core Design and Construction. And one of the things I was reading, Alex, is I found some interesting facts that nowadays, investors are snapping up all the iconic buildings. I mean, I was reading up, and I know that some foreign investors just bought the Los Angeles U.S. Tower building and also the West Coast tallest office building. And in Minneapolis also, they acquired the tallest building in Minneapolis.
Steven did that?
No. I'm talking about foreign investors, how they're purchasing all the iconic buildings.
Are we talking about the Chinese?
Oh, I don't know who they are, but somebody with money, and
now don't get me wrong. I like the Chinese.
They're acquiring, the New York's General Motors building valued at $3.4 billion, and they're actually gobbling it up.
Just a few ducats.
Bit,
So where are we at here? Alonso, before the show, you were mentioning we were on one of these.
Like I said, I like to be at the U.S. Bank building tower. That's where I feel more at ease, more at home.
Well, that's where Core Design is, right?
Yeah, that's where Core. Unfortunately, couldn't join us today, and maybe we'll reschedule him again. And like I said, let's rant.
Steven gave us a tour of that building. Actually, they have some of those, what are they called? Like, I don't know, business suites?
Yeah, business suites.
Where they have a common area. They have that kind of thing going
shared
on.
offices and shared space, and they pretty much rent the facility for business meetings. And it's actually pretty awesome when you're up there. I mean, I've gotten a few times up there to downtown building, and being in one of those helicopter patches is something,
You know what I really liked about that? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really super nice on the inside. The view was incredible.
Oh, yes, especially at nighttime. I had the privilege one time of joining Steve up there in one of those buildings and, took a couple pictures in the skyscrapers, But it's we're here at home at the towers of Rant Radio Network.
Well, today it looks like we have a pretty clear day out here at the Rant Radio Network, the towers of the Rant Radio Network. You know what today is, Alonso?
What's today, Alex?
Today's our anniversary.
What anniversary is that?
It's actually our 4th show.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I apologize. It's our 5th show. So it's our 5th week anniversary. And thanks for the listeners to liking us on Facebook and checking us out on Twitter. I do appreciate that. We do have some followers. Some folks have been communicating with us about the show. Talking to us about what they would like to hear. We would definitely like to hear from you. You can give us a call at 855-693-4897 and let us know about, you got something going on in real estate. Maybe there's an agent that is not giving you the right information. Possibly you have a question of some kind that we may be able to answer. But we would like to hear from you. Again, 855-693-4897. Last week, we talked about the bombing at Disneyland, and a small update. I'm a little amazed, actually, about what happened it turned out to be a cast member. Now, a cast member is somebody that works there. Is one of those booths that they have, selling fruit or whatever they sell there on the side. The gentleman was arrested by the Anaheim police. They hit $1 million bail. Did you hear about that?
No, I did it.
That was kind of nuts. And they had apparently he had put in a plastic bottle with dry ice, and it blew up in a trash can. Now, my wife used to work at Disneyland.
The happiest place on earth, huh?
We'll talk about that. She used to work there. She said that the cast members are always doing that stuff. They're always playing jokes on each other. They're always doing that kind of thing. I mean, to me, this is kind of like setting off a firecracker. What's the big deal? This guy is facing jail for a small prank. Nobody got hurt. There might have been a few startled people, but isn't that what you go to Disneyland for? I mean, you go to Disneyland, you go to the Splash Mountain, or you go to the Haunted Mansion, or you go to some of these rides. You come off, your adrenaline's pumping. Isn't that why you go? If anything, if I was at Toontown when that went off, I would have been busting up. I mean, of course, I'm
Don't
not
lie,
going to.
Alex. You would have been pretty scared. I would have been pretty scared.
Okay, maybe for a second. I would have been gay for a second, okay? But the point that I'm trying to make is that, that's why I go to Disneyland. I don't want to go to be bored. I paid good money to go. We talked about going on Main Street when you're leaving Disneyland and you turn around and you look at all the people coming out. They're definitely not happy. They're broke. They're pissed off. They're arguing. They're cold. They're
not so happy. Huh?
They're not happy. They're hungry, right? So, if anything, I wanted just to give a shout out to that gentleman. Don't get me wrong. We don't purport those kind of things on the show. We don't want anybody to do these kind of pranks where anybody gets hurt. But should this guy be punished that much? Come on. It's a little much, don't you think?
I don't know, Alex. If it was my grandma there sitting by that trash can that blew up, and a heart attack
you had
caused
to
her
bring
to
up
have had her to cause a heart attack or something, I'd be pretty upset myself, Alex.
Okay.
So let's look at it that way,
Okay, come on. You bring up your grandmother. Come on. Are you serious?
Well, Alex, maybe someone with a heart condition might have been by there. Look at it that way.
All right. Okay. Well, enough said. I just wanted to give the listeners an update about this gentleman. He was a cast member of Disneyland. Anaheim police took him in. $1 million bail. I'm not sure what's going on with him exactly, but we'll keep you posted. I did want to mention that anybody that calls in and gets on the show, we are offering a $25 gift card at Stevens Steakhouse, located in the City of Commerce. Compliments of Carlos Cruz at the Bell Gardens Chamber of Commerce. Also from Carlos at the Bell Gardens Chamber of Commerce, we have a professional teeth whitening treatment at Garden Dental Group on Garfield Avenue in the City of Bell Gardens. These are individuals that we work with pretty closely, and they enjoy the show, and they decided to donate some things, right, to the callers. And we would like to give this stuff out. Give us a call, 855-693-4897. What about what's going on in the news today,
The news
Mr.
today.
Alonso?
Well, one of the things I also read, Alex, I know you just currently got an app installed in your phone. And I was kind of amazed. I thought you were the first one that had that app. It turns out to be that there's a lot of realtors now that are using those apps. So
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know, Alex, you're not the first. So you're not the pioneer like I thought you were.
Well, now that you mention it, there actually is. Let's see, where did I see that? There was an article that I read. Here we go. Talks about technology playing a vital role in today's society and transforming ways that realtors do business. And that's exactly the situation. A lot of the realtors out there are taking advantage of the new technology, primarily for social media. Actually, the article talks about a lot of the homeowners nowadays, and they give percentages. I don't know how true those percentages are. I don't want to purport propaganda, but I tend to agree. A lot of the people that are out there looking at properties, looking for agents, investigating their markets, doing research on these things, they're relying on this technology. The problem is, and this is what I'm finding, is that there's a lot of websites out there, free websites. We won't say who they are because we all know who they are. There's probably 20 different ones that are out there. these are not licensed individuals, and they're putting out our information that we took the time to take our licensing. We took the time to get the credentials and the wisdom and the background to do real estate. These websites, they take our information and they incorrectly put out this information. I have a listing right now that's already closed, okay? But I'm still getting phone calls on it because of some of these free websites.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that I read on that website, that they use what they call its IDX feed, which is actually the internet exchange feed through the MLS, the multiple listing, which is where we get our data. And a lot of the websites, such as Trillia and one of those silo websites, their stuff is not
well, I didn't want to use any names.
I had to say it out, but because a lot of their sources have come up under fire for data inaccuracy. They're really not accurate.
Oh, that's big.
And that's one of the things that that I kind of agreed upon with Edna Realty Home Services. They're the ones that started that app, and it's similar to the one you have. Also, there was another thing.
Are you talking about the Edna Services, a mobile app?
Yeah, it's a mobile app, and it was I guess a broker who developed that app, who had that app developed, and they talked about the returns on that. I mean, was it really profitable to invest in one of those apps? And they said really you had to have like at least a brokerage of over 100 agents to so it could be the return on its money, which I'm looking at. Our office is not that big, and we were able to do it.
I didn't pay that much for my mobile app.
Exactly, and that was one of the things that I wanted to bring up. They like you say, now it's consumers now, they want the data on their phone. It's like we talked before. It was about disclosure.
Oh, that was the last show, right?
Property, location. Well, now the new one now is mobility. The consumer wants the actual mobility, and like I said, they have some kind of system where it's on a GPS. It's on a GPS, and what it does, it would actually tell you where the properties are located.
And we are coming up on a break. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Ticketsurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. Ticketsurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4199.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-842-7149. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
with a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Welcome back. Oh, sorry.
That
Alonso,
was yours. You
please.
took that segment up. Okay, no, Alex, nothing. It's
What are we, Chip and Dale? Alonso, please. Introduce.
Alex, dead space. Come on.
Okay.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rant Radio here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. We were talking about mobile applications, and what were you saying now, Alonso?
Well, and just about the inaccuracy of, from the other data systems that are put out there.
Right on. Oh, it looks like we have a phone call. Did I?
Well, answer it.
Well, here's the thing is that I just want to make sure I did the sound effect right. All right, here we go. Hello, you there, caller?
Hello.
Hello,
welcome to Rant Radio.
Yes.
Welcome to Real Estate Rant. What can we do for you?
I have a real estate question.
A question. Okay.
Yes.
We got an answer, but we're
Well,
going to
I
try to
hope
answer
so.
it.
Hopefully we can
I
answer
hope
it, yes.
so, because it sounds like you guys are the pros.
Well, we like to think so anyway. What can we do for you
Whoever,
today?
I don't care as long as I can help.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
Well, let me see what's going on. I'm interested in buying a home, a house, and I wanted to know what the process is
Oh, that's a loaded
and how much money would I need to put down for a down payment.
Well, it's a loaded question, but I think we can answer some of those questions.
Well, the first process is, have you been pre-qualified is basically the first criteria.
I have.
Okay, then you're ready to go.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, getting an approval. Remember that a lot of lenders, they're looking at your paperwork very objectively, meaning that they're looking at your debt to income ratios and they're doing that kind of thing. They'll give you an approval letter saying that you're approved for a certain amount. But what you should do is you should look at what you can afford, because it may not match. It may not match what the lender's telling you. So, yeah, because let's say that the lender tells you, hey, caller, you, and I think is it Christy?
Yeah.
Okay, Christy. Let's say that the lender tells you you qualify for $400,000, and looking at the payment, and I'm just shooting off the hip here using X numbers. Let's say that the payment is $2,600. Now, that's with a considerable down payment. But when you look at your finances, you can really only afford $2,200.
Right.
So just because a lender tells you that you can afford a certain amount of house doesn't mean that you should. And that's the problem that I think a lot of people had in the mid 2000s and earlier. They were buying homes that they really couldn't afford, and this is why we're having the problem that we're seeing now with short sales and foreclosures. One of the problems. There was many problems, but for the most part, that was the deal.
Hence all of the foreclosures and short sales that are going on right now.
Exactly. That a lot of people didn't think about. They gave them a piece of paper and they say, here, sign here, and you can buy this property. That's not a good way to do business.
And not only that, you also got to take in consideration that you want to put out your best offer you have. So, the people that are looking at your finances, they got one shot to do that, and they're going to take the highest and more reliable source to sell to. So, right now you're competing with a lot of investors who are buying the properties cash, and they really have their finances, really laid out there. So that's one of the things that we got to educate the consumer, is that you want to put your best offer out there in times like this. You can't nickel and dime right now on the sellers, because the sellers are really picky now. It's became a seller's market once again. Before it was a buyer's market where, you were able to submit offers and get them accepted. And now it's really up to the seller, where the seller's actually calling the shots now because they actually have the privilege of choosing who they want to do business with. And if I were on the seller side, then I'm going to take who I think is going to close my deal and not tie up my property. So that's another factor to consider.
So,
so what about as far as the down payment? What am I looking at for, say, a house that is worth $500,000?
are you going to take this, Alonso, or should I?
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay.
I'll let you. You're the expert mathematician.
Christy,
Yes.
you know that all depends on you. Now, when you're talking about 500,000, typically you can.
On an FHA loan.
Okay, well, that's 3.5% down as FHA, but you should really look at.
But once again,
it's affordability.
Once again, we go to that factor. You know, where your offer is it going to get accepted if you're going on a 3% down payment versus someone that's going in with a 10%, 20% down payment. So that's where the competition factor comes in. And you know, a lot of us as trying to buy a home, we try to get in with as little bit as money as possible. But the truth, the reality nowadays is that, you know, am I going to have a better chance of closing something where someone's coming in with a 10 or 20% down payment? Probably. So that's where the seller's going to make the decision. And if his agent is smart enough to tell him, wow, look, you know, these guys, they look like they have it all together. They're going in with more of a down payment. And it brings a lot more at ease. It puts the seller more at ease that their sale is going to close.
Yeah, they want to get rid of that property. But us here at the Real Estate Rant, we'd like to purport not borrowing anything at all. We don't like financing. If anything, we like cash deals. But that's not always reality. You know, we want to buy a home. We want to get into a home. We can afford it. We got a good job. All that applies. So when you are getting in that situation, these are all factors that you need to think about. Obviously, them accepting your offer. You know, the more money you come down with, the better off you're going to be. That's just the bottom line.
Right. It sort of puts us newbies at a disadvantage because you have all these investors coming in, and they're the ones that are getting the home.
And unfortunately, that is very true right now. The market, that's the way it's dictated right now. These investors are buying everything up, and a regular consumer has a harder time to get it. I actually read an article, and you know that now is like even new builders on home builders, they have to hold lotteries just to see who they're going to give the.
Oh my gosh!
They have to hold lotteries just to see who they're going to be able to sell the property to, because of the fact that there is a lot of buyers out there, and there's not enough. There's not enough inventory.
Now,
yeah.
You know, we call them investors, Alonso. Earlier, you mentioned a lot of these people coming in with cash and what have you, but I happen to be one of those individuals, you know.
I don't like you.
I am. Well, I'm trying. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay out of debt because, you know, a lot of people that are losing their properties right now, the only reason they're losing them is because they were in debt. So if you can get out of debt, that's the perfect position to be into. And these individuals that are going in, I mean, we call them investors. It almost sounds like a bad word, but quite frankly, they're the ones that are looking out for themselves. They don't want the tyranny of a mortgage company or any other individual coming in and saying, we can take this from you. So these are all things to think about. I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier in terms of you wanting to buy a home. You know, be frugal in your research, be frugal in with your down payment, be frugal with your buying power, because again, a lender can tell you, oh, here's an approval letter for $500,000, and you know your finances, your budget will only dictate maybe $400,000. You know, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
So this is the message that we want to put out there to the listeners. So
I'm a little confused. You're telling me to be frugal with my down payment. However, a little bit ago, you guys just said that the more money I come in with, the better my chances are.
Well, that's what I meant. By being frugal means that you borrow less. The less you borrow, the better off you are. If you think of it this way, if you had absolutely no debt right now, wouldn't that be the best position to be in?
Right.
Exactly. That's what I meant by that. I apologize if I gave the wrong message there. But being frugal meaning that the less amount of financing that you can get.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, and lenders hate me for that, but
means you come in with the lower LTV and you got a better chance of getting that property.
Yeah, because there's something else, Christy, that goes along with buying with a low down payment, and that's mortgage insurance. And that's after June 3rd, we talked about that just a few weeks ago. the mortgage insurance now lasts for the duration of the loan, or most loans are 30 years. It's not like before where you can take the MI off. You can't do that
No,
anymore.
it's my understanding is for the life of the loan now, right, Alex?
Life of the loan, 30-year
Yeah.
term. So that's just something to think about. So hopefully we answered some of your questions. Christy, thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much for helping out.
If you stay on the line, we have a $25 gift card if you're interested.
Oh, yay, of course.
Okay,
Of course.
let me put you on hold, okay?
Okay.
We got another caller on line 2.
Hello, caller line 2. Are you there?
I'm here.
Let's see on the screen here. It says you're Rose.
Rose.
Good morning, Rose. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. What can we do for you?
So I've been listening to your show, and I'm very interested in purchasing a property. It's going to be my first home, but it seems like it's getting a little more difficult to buy. So I want to know if it's really the time to buy now, since it sounds like I would really have to come in aggressively to be able to purchase a home.
You going to take this one?
Well, the time to buy is now. You know, of course, if we have the means, we want to buy now. The market is increasing. Home prices are increasing as we speak, you know, on the day. So we want to get them while they're low. Unfortunately, we have a lot of competition out there. So that's one of the biggest factors that we're going to face in today's market. I mean, when you're buying in a down market, then yeah, you're going to get those deals. But once again, it becomes to being prepared. And it's just a matter of getting all your finances together and be prepared, getting prepared. And I can't really put a time frame on whether it is to buy or not. You know, it's always the right time to buy, but is when the buyer or the consumer has the proper financing. So, I mean, it's all about getting all your piecework together, all your paperwork together, and being prepared.
So what would be my point A to start? My very first thing that I have to do to get started?
Getting pre-qualified by lender. You got to give them all your finances, take the 1003, and know exactly what you qualify. You know, they're going to get all your income documentation, get you an approval, and then after that, we're going to know where we stand. We want to know where we stand and what we need to do to prepare ourselves better so we know exactly where we're going. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be there promising you false hopes, but the truth is you need a reality check and get someone that's going to be honest with you and say, you know what, this is what you qualify. You want to qualify for a more amount, then you need to have more income, or you need to be told the actual truth. Don't sugarcoat anything right now.
Now, Rose, you mentioned earlier that it's becoming difficult to buy. What did you mean by that?
Well, only because I heard your comments earlier to say, you know, that it's a seller's market and investors are jumping on the property. So it gives us, you know, less of a chance. I mean, because my option would be to finance because I don't have the cash to, you know, to purchase a home cash. So it sounds like it's more difficult too.
Well, not only that, Rose, but sometimes it's depending. There's to the seller, because the seller sometimes they don't want to deal with investors. I came across with sellers that they absolutely don't want to deal with investors because they know what's going on of them buying up all the property, and they want to give a person an honest shot, you know, a family to come in and purchase that home. But it's really up to the seller. So the seller's going to dictate who they want to sell the property. And in some cases, that happens, you know, where there is a seller that says, you know what, I don't want to deal with an investor. I want to sell to a family. I want to get a family in there and give them the opportunity. So like I said, it's all about being prepared. And we never know when that opportunity is going to come up.
A lot of banks actually say that sometimes.
Well, banks look at it that way too, and you know, it's the right thing to do in my case. You know, in my opinion, Alex.
Okay, I did just have a quick question, Rose, or actually more of a comment to your question. You mentioned if it's a good time to buy. Okay, I would just kind of look historically at what's happening to real estate. You know, the market is cyclical, meaning it goes up and down, right? Like kind of like a roller coaster, goes up and down. Right now, we're at the lowest point of the peaks and valleys. If you look at any graphs of, historically speaking, of sales in the United States, Southern California just recently was reported to have an all-time, it's a 5-year high of median price range of 400,000. Which in the past 5 years we haven't seen. So what we're seeing right now is a healthy recovery of the market, and that's a good thing because, you know, if we would have seen a quick spike in prices, I probably would have been a little more skeptical, but because we're seeing a very slow increase,
Right.
it indicates a healthy recovery, and that's what we're looking for. So is right now the time to buy? I would say absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, Christy. We have a couple of prizes to those who call in and get on the air with us. We have a teeth whitening or a $25 gift card. Would you be interested in one of those?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold, Rose. I appreciate it.
Thank you for calling, Rose.
Thanks for calling. And we're going to take a break.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
TheTicketSurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. TheTicketSurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4199.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concept, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Welcome back. Thank you, Mr. Allen. I wanted to, real quick, just put out our phone number again. It's 855-693-4897. Give us a call. The last two callers actually were big winners on the $25 gift card. But I did want to mention as well, every week we do the design moment. Can we put up the design for the week? And let's see what we have here. We have some homes here in Little Italy, Toronto, Ontario. Now, last week, Alonso, you mentioned that you saw some of these in Ontario, and there are none of these homes in Ontario, California. But there are some.
Well, I meant Ontario, Toronto, Ontario.
Have you been there?
Well, obviously, Alex.
Okay, there you go.
I'm telling you,
right
I've seen
on.
them there.
I don't believe you, Alonso, but anyway, these homes remind me of some homes that I've seen in Philadelphia, but I don't think they're different, but they look similar.
No, they look to me like the Laverne and Shirley homes that I mentioned that last week also, right?
They lived in a basement, and that was in Milwaukee.
Okay, Milwaukee then. They're in Milwaukee then, Alex.
But it does remind you of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So what was it? Who were the two guys that were on Lenny and Squiggy?
Lenny and Squiggy.
Was that?
I'm Lenny, you're Squiggy?
No. I'm not saying we're Lenny and
okay.
Squiggy. I'm saying, okay. So anyway, this is a design. If you know what this design is, give us a call, and you can get a chance to win a $25 gift card or a professional teeth whitening from Garden Dental Group in the city of Bell Gardens. Give us a call. Let us know if you can figure this out. Now, I know most of you are probably Googling it right now to find out what it is, but please try not to cheat. We're trying to get some honest answers here.
Let's rant a little bit more about the market, Alex. That topic got going. There was an article I read that currently there are 2.16 million existing homes for sale, down from 13.6 from 12 months ago. So it does mean that our inventory is short.
It's shrinking.
There are fewer homes for sale and more buyers coming to the market. Sellers are less willing to negotiate on the price like they were in the housing bust. According to the survey, 42% of the people shopping for homes have placed offers in the past 6 months, yet only 11% of the bids were accepted.
So what's that? A 31%?
31%.
Well, I'll tell you, my numbers are probably bigger than that. You know, I put out a bunch of offers, and these listing agents, they don't call me back. They don't email me back. They don't communicate with me as to what's going on. You know, when I do get them on the phone, they make excuses about what's happening. I mean, those numbers, they sound real to me.
Let me read a little bit more what it says. It said, that has caused buyers to rethink their position. 85% said they are willing to compromise to get the deals done.
Compromise. There you go.
Just over half said they would be flexible on closing date. 31% they would be purchase a home as is, and 29% would pony up more cash than they originally planned. The home shopper said they are also willing to let go of some of the items on their wish list. So that
means they're compromising for less, and they're
having
a
shortage of inventory,
and they're having to pay more.
Exactly.
Do you think that's by design, Alonso? Do you think that there's some the powers that be behind the scenes? Are they deliberately? I mean, and we're talking about foreclosures. Are they deliberately holding back this inventory to cause the market to go up slightly?
I mean, it brings to mind it's a roller coaster. So who's really controlling that roller coaster, Alex?
Well, I would like to think the consumer is, but
maybe Uncle Sam, maybe the U.S. government.
I don't know. I hate to speculate. Let's let the listeners decide for themselves, right? So, but yeah, there has been. We talked about earlier with Christy, our caller earlier. We talked about the market moving up, and us seeing for the first time, an increase in values in the past 5 years. The median house price range is $400,000.
And on the other hand,
according to the California Association of Realtors, this information isn't coming from us.
And the other hand, also, what about the mortgages? Mortgages are on a rise. They're the highest they've been in a year. The 30-year fix went up from 4.11 to 3.75 last week. The 15-year fix went up from 3.26 from 2.90. The rates are rising.
You're talking about rates, or are you talking
the interest rate?
Are you talking about volume?
Mortgage interest rates.
The interest rates.
The interest rates are rising. They're actually it's higher than they've been all year.
The beginning of this year, they were like 3.25%, and right now I think we're seeing 3.875.
A 3.95 from 3.75,
which is what, from last month?
From a day ago. That's last week. That's from a week ago.
Because the interest rate moves in 0.8%, and usually moves about 5 times a day, if I know that correctly. Okay, well, thanks for listening in. You can give us a call at 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. Let's see, what else do we have on the chopping block today? You've been chopped, Alonso.
I've been chopped, huh?
Good. Let's see. Commercial real estate fundamentals improving lending type for small business. Let's see. Which one was that? We were looking at some articles this evening. Talks about the commercial arena, the commercial venue has been increasing as well. It has been going up slightly, and that actually shows for a better market as well. When the commercial arena starts to show an increase, it just means better for the general public. They're getting more jobs. the powers that be in those arenas are creating profit and more income. There's been some talk about builders starting to build a little bit more.
There's an article also about home builders that are struggling to find workers now. There's actually
I heard that this morning.
There's actually some builders out there in Trenton, New Jersey, that they don't have enough builders to keep up with their demand.
You're talking about the workers.
The workers, the actual laborers. A lot of the workers were immigrants, and they went back to their hometowns. When the past years it wasn't that great, so they went back to their hometown.
Wait a minute, are you saying that the construction companies were hiring illegals to do the
I don't want to say legal, but I mean, immigrant workers were the hardworking people.
These are legal citizens.
Legal citizens.
Okay.
I'm talking, but they came back from Mexico, maybe El Salvador. A lot of Hispanics are in the construction industry, and so that's one of the problems that national builders are having now. The National Association of Home Builders reported that 46% of its members say they have been falling behind schedule on finishing projects. 15 turned down jobs, and 9% of them lost or canceled jobs because they can't get workers.
And that's because there wasn't a lot of construction jobs out there, and the construction companies had to let a lot of these people go. But now that the construction jobs are coming back, those people aren't there now to hire.
Well, exactly. And I mean, so it's a good field to get into, construction. I mean, as far as what I'm looking at, I mean, the competition for workers has gotten so heated that there's actually contractors going to other job sites to take their workers.
So they're recruiting from other job sites?
From down the street. It was I read in the article that one subcontractor contract went on Monday, and the next week, the next day, someone from another company went to recruit them, entice them with more money, and the following Tuesday was pouring cement with the other, concrete with the other.
It goes to the highest bidder.
Well, actually, I read they had to do some kind of law where they not a law, but some kind of treaty that they couldn't recruit other people from other construction sites. It's gotten that bad.
So it's based more now on I'll tell you, the nice thing about all that is that before when a lot of us were looking for work, we were finding that we had to struggle to get paid on some things, sometimes even chasing the people that owed us money, right? But now it seems like there's been a shift in that whole, especially in construction.
Which comes again that the economy is booming, it's jobs are
getting better.
Let's not say it's booming. It's getting better.
I talk to people all the time, and they're hurting. A lot of people are hurting it, and they don't have the money coming in. They're having it difficulty getting lender financing. So let's not say it's booming quite yet.
Not yet, but it's starting to pick up.
Take it easy. Take it easy. All right. So that was actually a very interesting subject. There was another subject that actually and there I go again. I say actually a lot, don't I? I wanted to mention one of the things that kind of caught my attention. I think it was the short sales. We talked about short sales a few weeks ago. We had U.S. Residential here about alternatives to short sale. But this is something that caught my eye, where there was a representative of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac implementing policies to expedite short sale processes. And one of those processes was something called, it was called a no document, streamlined documentation. That's what it was. It was streamlined documentation. And I kind of got a glimpse of this at a seminar one time, but, didn't really pay much attention to it because I didn't believe it. And so take this with a grain of salt, because I don't like, when I read articles about real estate, I try not to purport somebody else's propaganda, right? So anyway, this is what the article talks about. This streamlined documentation talks about if a homeowner has less than a 620 FICO score, then they don't have to prove a hardship. Have you heard of that before?
No, I haven't. One of the criteria in order to get a short sale approved was the hardship.
Yeah, they have to give a hardship letter. They have to give their bills, their utilities, their firstborn.
So that's something new that came up?
Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's something that exists that maybe the lenders weren't saying anything about. Now that they're being under some level of scrutiny, they're look, we have this program, now that people can streamline the short sale process and get closed in 30 days. If their FICO score is less than 620, they're in a better position to short sale their home, and so the bank doesn't hold it up. I mean, that's kind of a nice thing. This is just something that caught my eye. And again, I don't want to promote anybody's propaganda, but this is something that I want to look into. These individuals are reporting this on, and these are National Association of Realtor articles, and there is actually a media contact reported on it. But to me, it was very interesting. They're saying on a 90-day delinquency. I think I have some clients that might qualify for that. The only thing, though, now it has to be a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan. So some of these other brokered loans or private investors, I don't know if they have those same policies. But that was just something I came across, right? So
something worth the while to look into.
Well, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it did. Sounded pretty good.
Now, recently we've had some tornadoes around in Oklahoma. Oh, we're coming up on a break.
We'll be
Please
right
stay
back.
with us. Time to pay some bills.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
TheTicketSurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. TheTicketSurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4199.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the three guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-842-7149. Or you can log on to www.agrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español. Live from the Rant Radio Network,
you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. Yes, hello, and welcome back to Real Estate Rant Radio here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. Hello, Mr. Alonso. How are you, sir?
Very good, Alex.
Welcome back, sir. Please give us a call if you have a rant, a complaint. I don't know, you want to talk with us. 855-693-4999. 4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. We were talking about home increases, Alonso. A lot of the reports have been saying 5 years. Some have been saying 7 years. You know, I would have to say it's probably less than that. That's just my experience. I tend not to, I read the articles with a grain of salt. I try not to purport others' propaganda when it comes to the market. But I am seeing a slight increase in the market, and I am reporting that to my clients. But have you seen any of that going on in your research?
Well, yes, Alex. I see that there's more sellers now willing to sell. They're starting little but surely. They want to sell. Their home has a little bit more equity now, and I believe we're gonna start seeing more homes on the market
as standard sales.
Standard sales,
right on. Now we have another engineer in the booth this morning, so I'm going to give him a little test. Can we throw up the design moment, Phil? Is that possible? Can we throw up the design moment? There's a picture of a house. I wanted to. Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir. I was testing your abilities. To anybody seeing the design on the screen, if you happen to be watching on the internet. This is the design for the past couple of weeks, and if you can call in and give us a idea of what this design is. The first one that we had was actually fairly easy, was the A-frame house that somebody called in right away.
It looked like an A, right?
Yeah, this one here is a little bit more difficult, and I wanted to make it a little more difficult, mainly because there's a prize involved. If you can get us this design or let us know what it is, we will... We have a $25 gift card from Stevens Steakhouse located in the City of Commerce, compliments of Carlos Cruz and Bell Gardens Chamber of Commerce. And also we have a professional teeth whitening treatment at Garden Dental, also in the City of Bell Gardens. So give us a call, let us know what that design is. Earlier we were talking about the mobile applications and being mobile. And I was kind of giving you my take on those free websites that are out there. And it makes me angry because we talked about a couple of things. It makes me angry because one of the issues with those mobile websites is they're not up to date. So the information that's on there is not up to date. But the other thing is that these are not licensed individuals giving this information. Now, granted, it is a partial information. In other words, when you're looking on MLS, it's more complete information. When you're looking on the free websites, it's less complete. But to me, that still doesn't make it right. These people should not be advertising what belongs to us as realtors. They shouldn't be advertising that stuff and putting it out there. Because, you know what? I get a lot of phone calls constantly of people asking me about some of my listings that have already been closed or are already pending, and they still show as active
listings. Absolutely. I get those calls myself, Alex, that, that home sold about a month ago, you know, and they're still calling me about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting some on some rentals as well.
Exactly. The rentals that you have up there for now, they were closed last week, and they're still called me this morning. One caller called me at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, they say, oh, this is a great deal.
Is your property available? And it was closed last week.
Yeah, this is a great deal. Is it still available? Like, really? It's been on the market for 60 days, and the way the market is right now, it's difficult to keep anything on the market. And these people really think that, this is still there. And, what's really happening with those websites is, and this is where I get angry, because they constantly call me and ask me to subscribe to their service. Oh, if you pay $75, $150 a month to this service, we'll put you next to these listings. So in other words, the people that are being advertised, or the realtors that are being advertised on those free websites, are not the realtors that are listing those homes.
How does that information get to them, Alex? I don't understand. How do they get the information? Is it when we upload it on the MLS, it goes to all those different websites, or do they pull it? They have access to pull information from the MLS?
Well, there is something on MLS that when we're uploading the listing, where it shows, do you want this to go to those free websites? Now, us as realtors, we have to make a decision. Are we going to take the position?
Well, we need the exposure. We want the exposure, but the downside of it is it's not going to be updated, and we're going to get those calls months after the close.
Okay, but what about, and we talked about this a few shows ago, what about the fiduciary responsibility of the listing agent to put this on the market? And if that's the market, then we are almost obligated to put that on when we're uploading that on MLS. We're obligated to put yes on there that we do want these free websites to be exposed to this listing. I mean, wouldn't that be the case? We have that fiduciary. I mean, you're the broker.
I mean, yeah,
I'm asking you a question.
Absolutely, it is our responsibility to do that. But I mean, getting it off the market, on a timely manner is the subject here. We need to come up with an idea to let these people know, you know what, it's off the market. Just like you put it up, that it was listed, not put it pending or put it sold. Do
you get the phone calls from these guys?
Yes, I do. I get phone calls.
Have you ever asked them, hey, how come these aren't updated?
I get phone calls from consumers trying to rent the properties or want information for the listings.
No, I get the phone calls from the guys that are trying to sell the service. I won't use any names, but they're trying to sell the service, and I ask them, hey, how come these aren't being updated? And they give me every excuse in the book. You know what? They want those listings to stay up there because they have more listings now to show, and the realtors that are paying for their service, they come up on the side as if this property was really available. And I get some of those emails at times that are telling me, oh, you have somebody interested in this property. I don't know anything about that property. I have to look it up. I have to research it. And a lot of times for me, it's a total waste of time. It really is. Because now I'm running the comps, I'm looking it up, I'm talking to the agent, and then when I get back to this person,
just to find out it was sold, huh?
It was sold
a month ago.
Exactly.
A month ago.
So to me, it's a colossal waste of time. So if anything could be done about that, I'll tell you, I'll be one happy camper. But this goes along with the push of ensuring the public trust. The individuals that are using those websites, I understand why they're using them. They're free, number one. But number two, I talked to some of my clients and say, well, would you rather me tell you the truth about what's going on, or would you rather have a fantasy about what's out there? Go look at the free websites and you're going to get fantasized, because there's a lot of properties out there that are showing these properties that don't exist because they're closed or pending, or there's something wrong with them and they're on hold, or they've been withdrawn. I've seen that a lot too. And those people are saying, oh, but look, I saw this house and it's a great deal. But it's not available.
So you say a good suggestion is to work with the realtor. Absolutely, that's the best idea that you can do.
Not just because I'm a realtor, will I say that? But yeah, absolutely.
No, but I mean, that's what one of the reasons why we do this show. We want to educate the consumer of the reality of buying a property.
Ensure the public trust, one rant at a time.
Ensure the public trust, and if you're gonna be in the market for a home, then it's best to go to the source, which is a realtor. Go to the source for the information. Don't rely on these public websites that have their information is not updated and they're not really credible.
Well, let me tell you the positive side about them is that you can do a little bit of research. A lot of them give those options to value homes and what have you. Now, just so those who don't know about how they arrive at their values, they're called AVMs. They're called automated value models. And these are computer-generated figures that are not using statistics. So in other words, they shouldn't be considered appraisals. But they will give you a pretty good idea of what's going on in the market, because they are pulling information from different sources. MLS, from public record, from tax records. There is a lot of information. Sometimes it's conflicting. Other times it's not. But I've had people call me and want to list a property, and they have a number in mind. And then when I really run comps on it and I narrow it down as an appraiser, they're a bit surprised because, well, according to this website, it told me this. And I'm like, well, you're looking at the information right in front of you. You can judge for yourself what these properties are worth. So these websites, they've become like the gospel. You almost have to argue with your clients to get them to realize.
Well, Silo says I can get so much for it. And you're telling me, well, I'm just saying, I'm mimicking a client. Well, that's what they actually say. Well, Silo tells me I can get this much for it.
So you know what I tell them? I say, okay, well, let's list it for that price. Okay, but with the stipulation that we'll do a reduction in price over time, because if we don't get any offers on the property and we're exposing it properly, we're having open houses, we're doing all that stuff, but we're not getting offers, it boils down to the price.
Common sense. It's not priced right.
Exactly. It's exposure to the market, and people are, everybody's looking for a good deal, so they're going to go for a low deal. That's the situation. Real quick, we're coming up on about a minute. You mentioned last night that you started to do some property management for. Was it one of these towers here?
Well, it was not necessarily one of those towers, but it was a building where they cater to the, to the high end.
Hey, so you're moving up in the world. I'm sitting next to a celebrity. Is that
No, not at all, Alex.
Is that because you look good today? I have to say that the tie.
I always do though, Alex. That's a given.
Okay, well you're always one up in me on the dress, So I try not to dress too strong on the show. That's just me. That's just my whole thing. But tell me, in terms of property management, give me an example. What was your experience with going? Because that's what is it? 50 floors?
It was 7 floors actually. It was 7 floors.
Okay,
It's not a high rise. It's more like a luxury apartment complex.
But this
where
is,
I was
this
kind
is
of
this is in the predominant part of Los Angeles.
Well, Westwood of Beverly Hills area.
It's on the west side. Right
I mean, I was kind of surprised that a two bedroom, 2-bath apartment was going for $4,950.
I'm getting the sense that you don't want to tell me.
Well, Alex, I'm kind of like.
Am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah, you are.
Am I? Okay, I apologize. Well, we're actually coming up to the end of the show. Thanks for listening in. Again, this is the Real Estate Rant on Rant Radio Network. You can hear us at www.rantradionetwork.com. Just click on shows, and you can watch this show or other shows on the internet. We're also on YouTube. If you just type in Rant Radio Network, Real Estate Rant, you'll hear that as well. Thanks for listening in. We'll be back next week, Wednesday at 10 o'clock.
Do we have a host for next week?
I believe Tom Rios from Rural Gardens is coming in.
We have a host. We have 2 hosts. A guest, I mean.
2 guests.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Estate Rant Radio.
Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
on the Rant Radio Network, where we talk about solutions to your real estate problems.
The views and opinions expressed by the host or any guest on this show are encouraged to be followed up by a professional tax advisor or attorney, as we are not qualified or authorized to give advice in 2 areas, legal matters and tax matters.
Take your time, take some chances.